Literally, I remember I had a moment where someone fangirled at church. I realized that I had also done my clients a disservice by not really telling them and really teaching them and really enforcing that this be a part of your process. Welcome to Brand Building 101. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm super excited that you are here. Listen, I know we both are thinking like, what in the world? I never thought in a million years that I would be recording a video podcast episode. Why? Because the only reason I did podcasts to begin with is because I did not have to get ready to record them. I could literally do them in my sweats. But here we are. I have so much to talk about, guys. My year started out like we here. I had no idea that I would step into 2025 and it would literally gut punch me and punch me in the face. So I started the first week of the year fasting because I wanted to start the year off like anyone should, right? On the right foot, in alignment with what God has me to do. I want to hear God. I want to know what He wants me to do. And so I started the week off fasting. Well, the second week, going towards the end of that fast, I got the news that my grandmother, who had just turned 94 years old, passed away. And so not only was I devastated, but I just was crushed, guys. Like, who isn't crushed when they lose a close relative? So I spent a lot of the first 2 weeks of the year really reflecting and just thinking about life, right? I was very contemplative. I was thinking about the legacy that my grandmother left, how she impacted so many lives through the work that she did while she was here. And I had to take a step back and think, am I making an impact? Am I making the impact that I set out to make with this business? And if I'm not, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? And I really settled on the fact that I did not think I was making the impact that I was called to make. I created this brand, The Monetized Mom, because I had a deep longing and desire to help other moms really embody the Proverbs 31 woman. Really, truly, honestly, the name of this brand was going to be Proverbs 31 Woman, but it was already taken. Nonetheless, I really wanted women to embody the Proverbs 31 woman. Not only that, I had a deep desire and longing to help other moms exit the workforce, but still be able to use their gifts, their skills, their talents to be able to generate revenue that they could, use towards their family. So many of you may not know the story. I had my first child, my daughter, in the middle of 2020. We were smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. And I remember coming to my employer at the time and I asked the question, hey, I'm not really comfortable about putting my child in daycare. I'd like to work from home. My job did not require me to be in the office. Like the work that I did, I'm in supply chain, I'm in, that type of stuff, continuous improvement. It doesn't necessarily require me to be in the office. And so the response that I got was disheartening. It was, you can't be effective at your job with a child at home. And I held on to that. Y'all want to call it unforgiveness if you want to. I held on to that statement. And I really realized that the workforce was not meant for moms. I knew that before, and I've always had the desire to be home, but it really became true when I heard those words. And so 2 years later, on maternity leave with my second child, my son, I decided to come home full time to pursue my business, which is my financial education and coaching business, Mama and Money. But because of that incident and because of sharing my story, I've heard many more stories of other moms who've experienced similar situations. They've had those similar defining moments where they realize the workplace is not for me and I need to figure out a way of still being able to sustain myself, making an income, while also being home with my family. And so that's why I birthed The Monetized Mom, teaching moms how to monetize their expertise online so that they could create income, impact, and also have kingdom influence. And so I really reflected and sat down these past few weeks to figure out, am I doing what I set out to do? And if I'm not, what do I need to change? And so here I am. Is a part of the change that I'm making. I'm making a lot of other changes, but this is one of them. And the reason that I'm here on video, if you're listening to this on the podcast, the reason I'm here on video is because I realized that in my effort to try to quickly get this thing going, I left a fundamental step, which is actually building a brand that people can align with its vision. So when I built my brand years and years ago, where people know me as Fo Alexander, or they knew me as like Girls Talk with Fo, or even Mama and Money, the fundamental basis of me being able to touch so many, I mean, thousands, tens of thousands of people throughout the years was the fundamental thing of building a brand with a vision that people could grab onto. People wanted to be financially free. My whole concept and idea over the years has been teaching moms how to make and manage money so that they can become financially free. People caught on with that vision, and I was able to build a brand that no matter what I put out there, people were eager to take hold to it because they knew that it would help transform their life and their finances in some way. Well, when it came to the Monetized Mom, although I was able to leverage that brand equity that I have built over the years, I still did not take the time to build the fundamental basis of this brand that's needed to propel it to where I want it to go, for it to reach the tens and hundreds of thousands of moms out there that I know need the help and support that I can provide. And so I am taking a step back and rebuilding this brand. I am doing what I know is necessary in order to build a brand that's going to have feet that it can grow from, that has roots that literally can sustain the growth and the vision that I know God has given me. So welcome to Brand Building 101. So listen, if you've gotten this far in the video, you probably like what I'm talking about. And if that's the case, you need to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free. And when you subscribe, you will be notified when new episodes drop and when new videos drop, and even when I go live. So go ahead, click the button below, subscribe to this channel, and let's continue with this video. Bye. Now, I know you're wondering, like, what does a video podcast have to do with building a brand? And I'm going to tell you why. When I built my brand and my name as Fo Alexander online, the one fundamental thing that I did was create long form content in the form of video. I would go live every single week without fail, and I would just build a relationship with my audience. It wasn't that I was necessarily talking about anything novel. I didn't have a dissertation every single week. But what I did have is a thought, I had an opinion, and I had some value to add, and I simply got on camera and shared it with other people. If it was something that I learned, I shared it. If it was something that I experienced that day or that week, I shared it, and I brought value to my community, which built trust over time. Now, doing that not only allowed me to build a brand online that's had been featured on Yahoo Finance, MSN Money, Anthony O'Neill, like you name it, has garnered the attention of people like Dave Ramsey. Like, not only was I able to do that online, but I was able to translate that offline. To this day, I still get people who walk up to me in my community, in my area, who are like, yeah, you're Fo Alexander, the money person. Like, literally, I remember I had a moment where someone fangirled at church when we were like doing where you shake hands with people. I was like, what in the world? It was wild to me. But all of that came from building brand equity, building a brand that has a vision that people can align with, such that they are able to tap in, see the value, and ultimately get the benefit of what you are trying to do. And so that's what I did back then that I did not do with this brand. And I'm feeling like I have to go back and do it. So what you're seeing is the brand building basics, coming on video, creating video, building relationships, providing value with this audience such that it has a firm foundation. Now, not only am I going to be creating YouTube videos, but I'm also going to be going live like I used to do. Y'all know I used to go live every week, but the context of which I'm going live is going to change. Previously, I was going live talking about business ideas, how-tos, tips, and all that stuff. And that's great. That's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, I really want to build relationship. And I don't believe that me getting on here telling you 7 steps to doing this in your business or this tip for this in your business is actually going to build that relationship. It'll give you value, but it's not going to build the relationship that I want to build and that I know is necessary to build a brand that's going to be a movement. So I'm going to go back to what I did before, which was literally sharing life. And the way that I'm going to be doing that now is through my weekly Bible study. Now, I shared this with my email list. I recently, literally the day that I found out my grandmother passed away, hours before, I did a soft launch of my new group, which is called Moms and Marketplace Ministry. It's a sub brand or a subgroup of the overall Monetized Mom. But I created that group because I felt like I needed to go back to my roots, which was getting on here, talking about the Bible, talking about my life, talking about my experiences, and how all of that just goes into what we're trying to do. And life isn't separate. Business isn't separate from the Bible. Business isn't separate from our faith. And I felt like this is the cornerstone for the women that I want to reach. The Bible is the cornerstone for me, and my faith is the cornerstone for me. And the women that I want to reach, that's the cornerstone for you too. And so I decided that I am going to create a Bible study. Moms and Marketplace Ministry, we're going to literally do a Bible study. Some weeks it may be related to business, some weeks it may not, right? But I know that that's going to be the cornerstone of building a community that's going to build out this overall brand so that we can reach more people. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about me giving you information and giving you resources. It's about building a community that's able to help each other. I might be spearheading it. I might be creating the environment for which that can happen. But at the end of the day, this is all about community, and that's what I want to build. So I'm going to be doing my weekly Bible study in addition to the weekly podcast that's going to be in both video and audio format. And I even got some more surprises coming up that I can't wait to share with you guys. But I want you to see real time what I'm doing. And as I reflected on this and I realized that I had skipped this step, I realized that I had also done my clients a disservice by not really telling them and really teaching them and really enforcing that this be a part of your process. You guys know that I teach ads, and ads help increase and expedite your visibility online. I definitely believe that everyone should be running ads in this day and age, so that you can be seen, because sometimes the algorithm be algorithming, right? But the fundamental things still have to take place. You still have to build a brand that people like. You still have to build a brand that people know. You still have to build a brand that people trust in order for those ads to be even more effective. And so what I found was I was teaching people how to run ads, but they hadn't done the front end work of building a brand. They wanted to use ads as the shortcut. They wanted to use ads as the way to not have to do the work. But at the end of the day, you still got to do the work. And so I am reflecting on that. And now I'm showing you the work that has to be done so that when we do add on these other things that can help increase your visibility and grow your business, you've laid the foundation in order for that to be effective. And so with that being said, I'm even rethinking my offers. A lot of times when I have my ads offer, I'm getting those people who just really want a shortcut. But now I'm taking it back a step, and I'm going back to actually one of my very first offers, which was literally teaching you the fundamentals of building a brand so that you have that brand equity, so that when we do amplify with ads, it's going to be more effective. So I'm super excited about that because I think it's going to serve you well, is going to serve me well, actually going through this process again. And I think we're going to build businesses that have roots and that are going to have the impact and effect that we have intended for them to have. So definitely stay tuned and be on the lookout for that, because I'm going to be releasing things in that regard that are going to help you build your brand, and so that you have that foundation and so that you make the impact that you want to make. So I'm here, guys. I am starting my new year this week, and I'm just excited for what's to come. So if you haven't already, if you're not on my email list, or if you saw it and you haven't done it already, be sure to join the Moms and Marketplace Ministry Facebook group. That's going to give you access to our live events, updates when I'm going live, additional resources, all the things that are going to be happening this year that I'm super excited about. The link for that is in the description of this video. If you're listening to this on the podcast, the link is going to be in the show notes for you to check out as well. Guys, I'm excited. Again, the year didn't start off the way that I had planned on starting it, but I'm so glad that I got to go through those moments of reflection and even that fasting and being intentional about how I started the year so that we can propel forward and do great things for the kingdom this year. I'm looking forward to seeing you inside the Facebook group. And until next time, I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.